الهجرة رحلة هادينا حمل الإسلام لنا دينا.
All right, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Hello,
Bismillah.
everyone, and welcome to the Diaspora Project. I'm your host, Mohammed. Today we have Yussur Abrar with us today. She is the ex-VP at Citigroup. She's as well as the ex-VP of Credit Risk Management at the American International Group. She's also the founder and president of Warsun International Communication and Somalia's governor of the central bank. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome, Yussur, to the show. How are you doing today?
Good, good. And I'm the CEO of Horn of Africa Insurance.
Oh wow! I think that they didn't update that. So subhanAllah, you have a lot of accolades going on. You have a
Must
lot,
be
and I
Allah.
do have a few questions
Yeah,
regarding the insurance, but that'll be a bit
sure,
later on. I want to know first of all
sure.
about your childhood and where you grew up. I can see here that you grew up in Boroma. Walk us through
Yeah, I
what
was
Boroma
born.
was. Walk us through what it was like growing up in Boroma, the schooling years, the
Yeah.
infrastructure, the government. What was it like back then?
Um, yeah, it's very nice growing up in Burma. Um, I went to uh, up to middle school
Mm-hmm.
in Burma, and the first, there was a girls' school for elementary school, but for intermediate school, we had to have what they call co-education.
Mm-hmm.
So we were mixed boys and girls
Mm-hmm.
in the intermediate school. Once I finished that, I went to my father used to work at the United Nations in Switzerland.
Mm-hmm.
So I was sent to the UK for high school.
Mm-hmm.
So I finished my high school in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Then from there, I went to Nigeria, because my dad again was transferred to Nigeria,
Mm-hmm.
and worked in Mogadishu after that for 2-3 years, and then
Mm-hmm.
went to the States to get my MBA, a BA, bachelor degree, and MBA
Mm-hmm.
from Oklahoma State University in the US.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I was recruited by Citibank.
Mm-hmm.
I joined Citibank in Dubai, where I'm actually right now
Mm-hmm.
transiting
Yeah.
through.
That's all
And
good.
yeah, and then do Abu Dhabi, and then
Mm-hmm.
I went to the States after that.
Mm-hmm.
Was
So
transferred to New York
yeah.
from Citibank with
Mm-hmm.
Citibank.
Growing up, obviously, the young generation, they have a certain view of Somalia. Can you paint a picture for our viewers what Somalia was like back then?
Somalia was excellent back then. It was very nice growing up. There was a sense of community. There was a sense of there was less clan issues in Somalia at the time. Most of the time, we didn't even know our friends what clan they were. It was really nice. It was very, very nice growing up. And
Mm-hmm.
even the 2 years or 3 years or almost 3 years I worked in Mogadishu, life was good. It
Mm-hmm.
was very good.
Mm-hmm.
It was only after the Civil War
Mm-hmm.
that things fell apart. And of course, in any conflict situation, a lot of changes happen.
Mm-hmm.
Cultures change.
Mm-hmm.
New actors come into play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Uh, so things changed, a
Mm-hmm.
lot after the
Mm-hmm.
Civil War. But
Mm-hmm.
Somalia was very nice as I grew up.
Mm-hmm.
For the last 6 years, 7 years, I've been in Somaliland
Mm-hmm.
with my company, and nice. Being in Somalia is nice.
If you don't mind me
Somaliland was
asking,
nice.
because Civil War, I understand Civil War is a big topic for everybody. It's a very dangerous topic most people don't want to talk about because of the trauma it carries.
Hmm.
Where were you when
Yeah,
the war first broke out, if you don't mind me asking?
I was in the States. I was very lucky to be out of the country, but my brothers were not so lucky.
Mm-hmm.
I had three brothers in Mogadishu at the time with their
Mm-hmm.
families,
Mm-hmm.
and two of them were killed in Mogadishu.
Allahu yarham, yeah.
So, yarhamah. So, even though we were not involved in
Direct
the
conflict.
fighting and the
Yeah.
direct conflict, they were there. They were there at the wrong time wrong
Hmm.
place at the wrong time,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
they got killed. So
Hmm.
it was very tough time for
Hmm.
us,
Do
and
you,
especially for
yeah.
me.
Did you think the
I
war would
sad to.
last as long as it did?
Did I think it will last as long as it did? No, I did not.
Hmm. Hmm.
uh,
Hmm.
okay, no. In a way, I kind of not this long, but I expected it to last long because of
Hmm.
the fact that when I did and others came into Mogadishu,
Hmm.
they did not have a clear plan.
Hmm.
The factions had not gotten
Rec
together and formed a
reconciliated.
government outside.
Hmm.
If they had formed a government, then that government would have taken over. But
Hmm.
they came at different time, or different groups came in, and they
Hmm.
started fighting each other,
And different
which is
motives as well.
unfortunate.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. I want to talk about your education. I think it's over here we have Oklahoma State University is where you study.
Yes.
What drew you towards finance and economics?
Was finance.
Yeah.
I had a degree in finance, and my bachelor degree was in finance
Hmm.
and management minor.
Hmm.
My graduate was an MBA.
Hmm. So, but what drew you to that? Why did you go ahead and do that? Why not engineering, for
Uh,
example?
Life doesn't, uh, you know, we think
Yeah.
we think that we plan our lives, but we really don't. If I
Hmm.
look back on my life, I think it
Hmm.
was God who planned everything.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Just yeah.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Especially things that overcome. And
so
yeah, and speaking of things that you overcame, I'm sure back then, what was the Somali population like when you had first moved in?
when we first moved in,
Yeah,
you mean
as a young high schooler.
uh, you mean in the UK?
Yeah, in the UK. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, there were very few people there. Very so,
Hmm.
very few Somalis.
Hmm.
They were people were very nice to each other at that time.
Yeah, I mean they had to be.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
there were very few of them. They took care of students. The embassy took care of us, embassy staff.
Hmm.
Those who were what they called seamen, who
Hmm.
had been in the UK for a long time,
Hmm.
took really good care of us when they saw us.
Hmm.
They respected students, they respected education, and yeah, it was really nice. If you saw a Somali, you ran to him.
Hmm.
You
I
know,
think people still do
uh,
that. They still do that.
yeah, it was nice.
Absolutely,
It was very
absolutely.
nice. Yeah.
What are some cultural and personal challenges you faced when you were over there in a new country? I mean, you're one of the few, if not the only, Somali person in these universities, in these colleges and high schools. How did you come across?
Um, UK was probably the most difficult when I first got there. And I didn't really speak English. I thought I spoke English, but I did not.
Mhm.
So I used to think that everybody else did not English,
Yeah,
did not
absolutely.
speak English.
Did you
I
guys have
was the
a,
one who
sorry to
did not
interrupt,
speak
did you
English.
have an English program in Borma when you were growing up?
Oh yeah, but that's a
Oh,
language.
yeah, 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 yeah.
That's a
Okay.
language.
Hmm.
We had English and Arabic as a language.
Hmm.
Somali wasn't written at the time,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
we learned English and Arabic. But
yeah.
when you go to a country where everybody
He speaks
speaks
English.
English, and you come from a country where you only learn English in school, but
Yeah,
nobody speaks it at
speaks
home,
it. Yeah, you get tested a little
uh,
bit.
it was tough.
Hmm.
Well, that was probably the most difficult part. But other than that, uh, it was fine. Not much, not much challenge. School, of course, was a bit of a challenge at the beginning
Hmm.
because you did not speak English as well as the other students. But
Hmm.
Somalis are by nature very good at school, so
Yeah.
I didn't have any. I
Academics.
didn't have much problem. Academics are not
Absolutely.
something we shy away from, so
Absolutely.
I was fine. I was
Hmm.
okay. Yeah.
You've held many executive positions at CT Group and other large organizations. What are some, if as a young person who wants to get into these spaces, what would you give to like advice to the Somali people, wanting to get people who transition from high school to university? What opportunities should they be looking for? Internships, what kind of skills should they be looking for? Networking.
Okay. Like I said, you don't make those decisions. God makes those decisions. But I did not
Tawakkul.
wake up one morning and say, I want to become a executive at this organization or that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
But one thing that's very important is that
Mm-hmm.
you have ambition.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you don't have ambition, you're not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't necessarily mean that you want to, take a certain career path. If you can, that is great. If you
Mm-hmm.
want to be a doctor, that's a
Mm-hmm.
career path that's very straightforward. If you want to
Mm-hmm.
be a lawyer, that's a career path that's very straightforward. But things like business, there isn't a clear path.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing that helped me, I would say, when I was in the States, and I went there, I went back as an executive from Abu Dhabi
Yeah.
to New York, was the fact that number one, you need to have a lot of self-confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, meaning you need to be just a Somali.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Somalis are by nature
Yeah.
self-confident.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so no matter where you are, don't lose that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
Absolutely.
helps us a lot,
Mm-hmm.
The second thing is that you should be able to do whatever you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Don't shy away from it. Okay, that's
Mm-hmm.
with confidence comes from come with an ambition. You really can achieve anything you want in life.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to be whatever you
Yeah.
decide to do. What I always tell my children is whatever you want to do, be good at it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Give it your best shot.
Mm-hmm. I've read a few of your articles regarding Watson International Communications. For people who've never heard of that, what exactly is Watson International Communications?
Oh, that's one I haven't. It was a long time ago, but anyway,
Mm-hmm.
it was a telecommunication company that I started in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
That dealt directly with Africa.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a switching platform and basically switched the voice and data
Mm-hmm.
communications for small telecom companies in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Include internet and voice communications.
Mm-hmm.
But then I went from there. I went into insurance.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got banking background, telecom background, insurance background.
I mean, you have to be. Yeah, absolutely. With your skill set, I mean, you gotta be. One of the major questions that we have, especially with the rise of AI and governments become cracking down on
Absolutely.
stuff like communications. I'm sure I don't know, in the US, I think in the UK, they recently proposed about putting age limits on accessing internet. Continents like, wouldn't that mean like continents like Africa have a chance now to compete in bigger spaces?
Actually, I would say that I've traveled a lot in Africa,
Hmm.
and I've met with young people,
Hmm.
West Africa, Southern Africa, East Africa,
Hmm.
and I would say that the young people in Africa are very, very much up to date
Hmm.
on
The happenings.
what's happening in the
Yeah,
world.
yeah,
And places like Nairobi,
yeah.
Kenya, are a major hub for digital, stuff.
Hmm.
So they're not, now with AI, that's another level
Hmm.
of revolution, as I would say, probably
Hmm.
the fourth revolution in the world.
Hmm.
And it has a lot of uncertainties, but it has a lot of benefits.
Hmm.
Whether you like it or you don't like it, that's the way of the future.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I would encourage all young people to be up to speed and well versed to that,
Hmm.
especially with the benefits of AI.
Hmm.
And there are many benefits of AI. It's going to
Hmm.
revolutionize how we do things, how we communicate. Everything's going to be very, very
Absolutely.
different.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
and that is something that I would encourage all the young people on the line
Hmm.
to be well aware, to be well versed,
Hmm.
to not be afraid of it, but
Absolutely.
just know everything about it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
I want to spin back to Somalia a little bit. You played a role in being the first female governor in the Central Bank of Somalia. Walk us
Mhm.
through getting that call for the first time.
Well, I was actually at the time a senior consultant for the African Development Bank.
Mm-hmm.
in Tunis. Now, when I got the call, I was not very happy about going to Mogadishu,
Mm-hmm.
given the history of my family
Absolutely.
over there.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt that, I could make a difference in the lives of Somali people and
Mm-hmm.
especially young people, and
Mm-hmm.
accepted it based on that premise, that I
Mm-hmm.
could make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, it did not pan out that way. So
Mm-hmm.
I left as soon as I could,
Good.
as soon as I saw that things
Mm-hmm.
that I was not able to do what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm. But I want to, because I've got so many views on this particular topic. Okay, the first thing is, I mean, where do I even begin? There's so many things. I think one of the main questions is, I guess I want to be upfront, is Somalia as hopeless as many young people see it to be?
No, it is not hopeless. There
Mm-hmm.
is always hope.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When you say there is no hope, then you are really, or you say
The
there is
hopeless
no
one.
hope, I
Yeah.
have no hope.
Yeah.
You are going against God's own,
Mm-hmm.
plans.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is hopeless.
Mm-hmm.
God is aware of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, I'm sure things are going to work out and Somalia will be better than it was ever before.
Mm-hmm.
But, conflict, civil wars and
Mm-hmm.
conflicts like that
Mm-hmm.
create a lot of chaos.
Mm-hmm.
They create a lot of actors who take advantage of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
People who are, uh, who are good, who can make a difference, are afraid to get into the situations like that. But
Absolutely.
people who are not so great, but or opportunists take advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, fortunately, the civil war has created what I would call clan politics and a lot of corruption. And those two have to be tackled for Somalia to develop and to become what it's capable of becoming.
Absolutely.
It's
Do
capable of
you, I
we have.
guess, to build up on that, do you have any strategies that, something that you've been obviously in Somali government, you've left Somali government. If there was something that you were to impart on the younger people, Somali people who are watching this or wherever they are in the world who might see a clip of this somewhere, what would you say
Mhm.
a strategy they could implement to reduce those type of, I guess clan
Well,
sectarians, and that's the best way to put it.
first of all, if you look at Latin America, a lot of young people well, I wouldn't say young people, but a lot of people who left Latin America, went to Europe and the United States, eventually went back and rebuilt those economies, and made them what they are today. Even Asia benefits from the education and the experience of people who lived and worked in Europe and the United States and went back to Asia and build those economies. Okay, so I would say first of all, for young people, they have to focus on their education wherever they are. They have to get experience because experience is what is important in life, and those are skills that they can take back to Somalia at some point in their lives to make a difference. The diaspora, Somali diaspora is extremely, extremely important. Okay, not only have we sustained and continue to sustain the country through remittances, the money that we send every month to our families, which is a lot of money, and it's sustained. It keeps the country going, but we are gaining a lot of knowledge in every field, and those skills, when finally Somalia becomes peaceful, and or whatever part of Somalia we come from, we can take those skills back and apply them and make Somalia, a great country that is destined to be. I think Somalia will be a great country one day. As young people should not lose hope. We have a lot of resources in Somalia. We have a lot of intelligent people. We have a lot of diaspora, young and old, especially the young people who are learning all kinds of skill sets around the world, which when they take back to their home country or country of origin, will make a huge difference and will put us on the path to prosperity. So I would say I'm very hopeful about Somalia. I am not, I know things that don't look good today, okay? But, given the level of resources the country has, the level of diaspora education and experience it has, I think we have hope.
Absolutely.
So,
Thank you. Thank you
and
for
don't,
that speech. Yeah,
don't,
absolutely.
don't give up. Don't
Mhm.
give up hope.
I want
Don't
to
give up
ask
hope.
about
Yeah.
the role of the Somali woman in the development of Somalia, as you were saying. Does Somalia need to, if Somalia were to change its structure in the way they introduce these types of things, what are some systematic changes they should make to accompany, to allow our Somali women more to take more leadership roles like yourself?
Yeah, well, again, this is part of or a product of what's going on in Somalia right now, the conflict and the chaos that goes on in those countries, in that part of the world.
Mhm.
When you have a very small economy, when you have a small pie, and you're all fighting over that little pie, it's like survival of the fittest. So the one is that have the more power or the more, the loudest would take, a bigger piece of that chunk. So right now, the way Somalia is structured, women are not playing a big role, and it's unfortunate that that's the case. Because if you look at Somali women in other countries, like I can tell you in the States, in the United States, you see Somali women in the Senate and in Congress. You see Somali women in local
Local
parliaments,
roles,
local
mayors and
legislation,
stuff.
local roles.
Mhm.
You see them as mayors of big cities in the United States.
Mhm.
So you just imagine what they can do if they were given the same level playing field in their own in Somalia.
Mhm. Absolutely.
It is unfortunate that a country can marginalize and not take advantage of the brains of 50% of its population,
Mhm.
probably more than 50%, maybe it's 60-40.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
that is that's just unfortunate.
Mhm.
But hopefully things will change, and Somali women will be given more roles, because as women, as mothers, as sisters, we are much more kind to, much we're more kind. We are less corrupt. We are, more.
A lot
We
less
are
corrupt.
more, yeah. We are
Absolutely.
more attuned to the development of our children and
Mhm.
therefore our country. So I
Mhm.
think Somali women should be given their place in the development of the country.
Mhm.
And hopefully that will happen, but it's not happening right now. I think Mogadishu probably does a little better than some other
Other
parts
parts
of
of Somalia, yeah. The
Somali
underdeveloped parts,
speaking
yeah.
populations, yeah.
Mhm.
But still, it's not enough.
Mhm.
There's just so much that can be done, and
Mhm.
women can play a huge role in the development of the country.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think I was just gonna also ask, I mean, because my earlier questions about Borama, and you saw, I'm sure many of the politicians that we have here in Somalia right now, and yourself, you guys grew up in a more prosperous Somalia, a more educated population, an education, a population that, they were like, forerunners. I guess my next, obviously, I don't expect you're not gonna read their minds, but there seems to be like a very strange thing where we see a generation that grew up in that prosperous Somalia who are now given the leadership roles but refuse to go back to those prosperous days and seem to be, for lack of a better word, just looting the country.
Yeah, yeah. First of all, just one
Or am I being too
correction. I'm not
harsh? Am I
really.
being too
No, no,
harsh?
no, 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 no. I am just setting the record straight for myself.
Of
I
course.
am
Oh,
not
okay.
really a politician.
No,
I
no.
am more an entrepreneur than a
Yes.
politician. But
But
I
you,
follow
yeah.
obviously the politics of the country,
Hmm.
and of the people of Somali people everywhere.
Hmm.
I follow that very closely. but I have no political ambitions myself. Anyway, so, but yes, yeah, that's, what you described, unfortunately, is largely true. And it's unfortunate that that's the case. But what I worry about is it's not the fact that people who left Somalia and went back are trying to, loot the country so they can, pay their mortgages off back where they come from in the West. What I worry about is the young people, the younger generation, who seem to think that that's correct. That's the right thing to do, and therefore seem to be following their footsteps. So if that's the case, and if that continues to be the case, then we create a vicious cycle.
A vicious cycle, yeah.
Yeah, where with no end in sight. And I am hoping that the young people who will see the light and will understand that for them to create a future for their kids, they have to do better than those who are coming from overseas, who don't, most of the time don't have jobs overseas, abroad, and are, taking advantage of the country. I hope that the Somali young people, both inside the country and outside the country, will realize that that's a dead end.
Absolutely. And there might not be a Somalia in 50 years if that keeps going.
Yeah. If they continue like that, there will be no Somalia.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to change the pace of the topic and just talk about, religion and Islam. Obviously, how has, dua, and of course we make dua for our people wherever we go. How has dua and remembering Allah Azza wa Jal, how has it influenced you and helped you with your decision making?
Well, dua is very important. We come from God, we go back to God. We all think that, we're masters of our universe, that we plan, we do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. But at the end of the day, it's Allah who plans. And, you always have to remember Allah. Allah says, remember me and I will remember you.
Absolutely.
You should always be grateful to Allah for whatever you have. What you have is from God. And when you're grateful, God says that when you're grateful, I give you more. So remembering God is the most important aspect of your life.
Absolutely.
Remembering God, being aware of His gifts to you and to your family is extremely important. If you don't do that, if you don't keep God in your heart and in your mind all the time, you get lost.
Absolutely.
You get lost. And then it takes you a long time to get back to where you should be. You will go through a lot of tests. You will go through a lot of hardships to get back to, because God wants the best for everyone. So to bring you back to your roots, you'll probably go through some hard tests. So I would say from the beginning, keep God in mind all the time. Be grateful for Him. Be thankful to Him. Turn to Him for your needs, because He's the only one who can meet your needs. If you're sick, He's the only one who can heal you. If you need something, He's the only one who can make it happen.
Absolutely.
That's what I think about that. And I think the earlier you learn that lesson,
the smoother your life might be.
The smoother your life will be.
Absolutely. I suppose looking back, so what do you think is your greatest accomplishment in your career or life, I guess, either or?
Well, in life, I think in life I would say probably taking care of my brothers' families, when they were killed. I had to step up and take care of the family. And God, alhamdulillah, gave me the ability to do that and the willingness to do that. Both, the means and the will to do that. So that, I think, was a great accomplishment for me. The other accomplishment, of course, is that I raised children who are doing well today in life. and I'm proud of them.
Mashallah.
Grateful to God for that. That's another accomplishment in terms of career. I have done a lot of good stuff. Been very lucky and did, as you said, worked in executive positions in many places and continue to do that. And up to today, I'm still creating things, and I'm just creating a software company right now.
Yeah. My next question is, what are your plans for the future? Like, what's the next big thing? So you're kind of on top of that, but yeah.
I just transitioned into that for you.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. Keep going.
Yeah. Well, right now, given my experience and a lot of experience in insurance, I have created, I'm actually still working on them, but very close to getting it done. Software for insurance companies, and software for healthcare providers, telemedicine, they call them. And the software for insurance companies is called InsurTech. And we're using AI quite a bit on that,
Yeah. That's good.
Insurance, claims and claims monitoring, and on the healthcare and, in diagnosis, big platforms. And working on two big
new frontiers
software platforms. New frontiers.
Absolutely.
But it goes to show that you can learn anything. If you apply your mind to it, you can learn anything, you can do anything.
Absolutely.
And when your brain stops functioning, then you can stop functioning. But
Absolutely. It's like a muscle, you have to work it out.
Yeah, if you don't use it, you lose it.
Absolutely. I suppose we're on like the near tail end, so I'm just going to ask you the last two questions. The first is, three things that we need to help Somalia. It can be education. Just name off three things.
Of course, obviously, education is very important. But my biggest advice to you as the young generation is stop clan politics. Don't pay attention to the clans. This is my clan. This is mine. This is we versus them. If we are not united, we fall apart as we're doing now. Okay. The only reason we are falling apart as we're doing is because we're not united.
Absolutely.
If you are united, as God commanded us to do, this is the result of that. This is what happens. So, clan has no place in today's life. Okay, absolutely zero place. The only reason it should exist is that it is part of our social security.
Yeah,
we have
absolutely.
no other social security. Okay, so when somebody is ill, or somebody dies, and
or injustice happens.
Injustice happens, you come in and you help each other. Okay, but that can be also done as a community, not as a clan. Okay,
absolutely.
But clan, really, in today's world, there is no place in the world that works on clan.
Absolutely.
It has divided us. It has divided us and divided us and divided us to the lowest level. Okay? And as young people, that is one thing that you should say no to. Okay, our parents is different. Okay, because that's all they knew. But you know better. You're in Australia. You can't stand in the middle of the street and say, I am from clan so and so, and my clan is better than other. Everybody's going to look at you like, you crazy? What are you talking about?
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Okay. So leave that stuff. Be united. Okay. That is the one biggest advice I can give you. If you want to help Somalia, that's how you will help Somalia. Leave clan politics.
Hmm. I think many
Number
young,
one,
yeah.
number two, and number three.
Yes,
That is
that's
my advice to you.
absolutely. And I think a lot of young people they grew up watching Holland Nine Leo, who was like, who stopped the clan stuff and try to bring people together rather than separate them. So it's a good message
Absolutely,
to.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That is, that's where we should be.
Hmm. Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah,
So the
that's how you can help. And the other
yeah.
way, of course, is get the best education you can, get the best experience you can get into politics in your own country. Don't just sit, just be in corporates in the corporate world, rise to the top in the corporate world,
Hmm.
get into politics, get into the Australian Parliament, and whatever system you have, because that also helps Somalia.
Hmm. Absolutely. Representation is important.
That's important.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, so the last question was going to be a 1 minute rant. Like you have 1 minute to talk about whatever you want. But I think the clan one covered that. I think that was the perfect one.
I think that covered that.
I think that one covered that. So I think that's about it. I don't know if you have any last remarks you want to give to the people.
No, I'm just thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming
I
on. I know you're a
I'm
busy
a
woman.
proud Somali, and you should also be proud Somalis wherever you are.
Hmm.
Wherever you are,
Absolutely.
you're carrying the flag, you're carrying the name.
Hmm.
You may be Australian, but you're Australian Somali.
Hmm.
I'm
Absolutely.
American, but I'm American Somali.
Absolutely.
The word Somali is always with you. So
Hmm.
carry it well.
Hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you so much for being on today. I guess that'll be the end of the episode.
Thank you so
Assalamu
much.
alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Allahi wa barakatuh. Again.